My name's Kent with the Mopit company, and today we're going to be reviewing the Tennant T1. This machine has also been private labeled by Nobles and by Ecolab as the Scrub and Go with Ecolab. It's a neat machine. It's got a 15-inch cleaning path. This model is their lithium battery model, and it's got some neat advantages to it. A couple of the notable ones are it's got this handle. You just pull this lever right here, and the handle goes super small, so it's really good for storing. It also comes in really handy when you're wanting to go under a table, because you can slide it right under a table and pull it back. And this particular model has two squeegees, one in the front and one in the back, so it does pick up both going forward and in reverse. So it's really nice for getting under tables and stuff. The brush and the squeegees are easy to change. With the brush, you've just got this nut that's built right into the bearing plate. Twist that off. And there's your bearing plate, and you can just pop your brush right out. They do have several different brushes, from coarse to really soft and all the way in between. And while this is off, I'll just show you up under the hood before I can tip it on its back. So you can just pop this right up, and here is where you empty and fill the machine. So you've got your fresh water tank here. It holds 2.5 gallons. And then here is your dirty water tank, which holds 3.4 gallons. And then this just goes right into your fresh water tank where the water is pumped up. You've got your vacuum motor right here that actually sends the suction up into this port here. And around here you've got this sight glass, so you can actually see the debris getting sucked up. And then this goes right into, this pressurizes the dirty water tank, and then your dirty water comes right through here, right into this bucket. The buckets are really good quality, really heavy, well built. They should last forever. You got an hour meter here. This particular machine is a used machine. It's got 3.4 hours on it, as the hour meter shows. One thing we've learned as we've worked on a lot of these Tennant T1s and seen a lot of them come back is they tend to, this outer casing, it seems like it's an injection molded plastic. On almost every single one, even though this one has 3 hours about on it, they crack. And so this one is already cracked. Pop this. Actually, I'm going to leave these out so I can tip this upside down for you. So if you tip this on the back, we can get a look underneath. Okay, so here's our squeegee bars. You can see how small those suction ports are. It does not take much to get those clogged. Where it has a squeegee in front and back of that port on both sides, the squeegees do help to plow the bigger debris so that you don't get as much in there. The drawback is that if you're trying to pick up a big puddle of water, you tend to plow it instead of having it come through quicker. These are very easy to change. Just pull up on that tab and they pop out. And squeegee blade on this machine, they run usually from $25 to $50 a piece. It depends on where you search for them, or if you get name brand or aftermarket. So you're usually between $100 and $200 for the 4 when you need to replace them. In here you've got your ports that spray the dirty or the clean water. One drawback is if those ports break or anything breaks on this plastic housing, you have to replace the whole thing, and it's expensive. The brush just slides right on your drive bearing plate. Brushes range from $150 to $200. And this just slides right back on. There we go. The bottom of the machine is cast aluminum. It's nice and well built, that cast aluminum piece. One drawback with this machine is you can double scrub by turning off the vacuum, but while you're doing it, these squeegees are always touching the floor, so It's not as effective double scrubbing. You don't have a squeegee lift. The squeegees are always on the floor. But you can turn off the vacuum with this switch right here so that you can leave the water on the floor while you scrub repeatedly. It does have a transport mode, so that's your scrub mode. When you want to take it in transport mode, step on that pedal, and then it lifts that brush hood off the floor for storage and for transport. And to lower it down, there's just a side pedal right there. All right, so let's take a look under the hood here. Got 3 screws that holds this on. And then I think, yeah, this will give us a good view here. We got our 12-volt vacuum motor right here. It's a single-stage 12-volt motor. And we got a really nice heavy-duty brush motor. You can see here the vacuum hose, how small it is and how difficult it is to clean out if you get it clogged. You can try and put high-pressure water and spray up in here, or you can pull the Y off that goes up in here and try and back flush it that way, but it's a real challenge. This is the vacuum tubing in the Tennant. So you've got about 1.5 inches for the main line, but then when it splits off between the front and the back squeegee, you've got a 1-inch line. And they tend to clog easy. This is not an easy machine to unclog when you get clogs in the vacuum tube. But you've got a whole other area you can get clogged as well. You can get clogged up in this piece here, and then you just have to spray through here and it's going to come spraying out here, and you can try and clean that out. But it can be a real challenge for techs trying to clean out a clog. And here you have your fresh water line, that's small 1/8 inch tubing, and it comes onto your jets right here that are built right into the plastic. The trouble is, if you can get a clog in here sometimes, and it's a pain to get out, but if this bar breaks off, you have to replace the whole plastic shroud. And that's a real, it's an expensive part, and it's a challenging repair. And so the other thing you can get is you can get clogging from the underside in the brush cavity as that brush is flicking debris around. It's pretty common to get those jets clogged up, and they're a real challenge to unclog. All right, this is where the lithium battery is housed. Just take off these 2 screws down here. It's just right behind this panel. They use a battery made by Valence, just a 12-volt battery here. We'll go ahead now and turn this on. Okay, before I do, this is where you charge the machine. You've just got your charge port here, and then it's an off-board charger. This just plugs right in here with this plugged into the wall, and it gives you your indicators on how charged it is. All right, the dash panel here, you've got a battery gauge, which is really nice, and it's really just flipping this one switch, and then pulling this will start your brush going and the solution. So if we do that, turn on our vacuum on, go ahead and move. It's really pretty quiet. And again, it'll pick up forward and backward. You'll notice what I talked about with it plowing. When you pull it backwards, often you'll have debris left on the floor in front of the squeegee. Another thing about this machine is it is kind of tricky to maneuver and make corners. You'll see what I mean here. So, I mean, you have to kind of walk the whole thing around, and I've noticed when the floor is really wet, it will often kind of skid off at an angle, kind of diagonally. Here are the specs for the Lithium Tennant T1. A cleaning path of 15 inches, fresh water tank capacity 2.5 gallons, recovery tank capacity 3.4 gallons. The solution flow rate is 0.1 gallons per minute. The brush speed is 900 RPMs. Estimated actual square footage per hour is 7,743 to 10,000 square feet. It uses a 12-volt single-stage vacuum motor. You've got 1 hour of run time, an off-board battery charger, and the dry weight of the machine is 110 pounds. Some of the pros with the Lithium Tennant T1 are that it reaches under tables, it picks up in reverse, the handle folds down for easy storage, easy change for the brush and squeegee. Squeegees are reversible for longer life. It uses a cylindrical brush that reaches down into the textured areas like grout. Some of the cons for the Tennant T1 are that it uses small 1-inch squeegee hoses that can become clogged easily. It's difficult to clean plugged squeegee hoses. Small water tank capacity. It uses a 12-volt system, so the vacuum motor doesn't have as much suction. Because it picks up in forward and reverse, it tends to plow puddles and debris in front of the machine. It has a lot of plastic parts that tend to frequently break. It's difficult to service, and it has a high cost of ownership. As far as cost of ownership, the price range for the Lithium Tennant T1 ranges from $4,000 to $5,000 to purchase. Squeegee blades for the set of 4 range from between $150 to $200. Brush replacement ranges from between $150 to $200. Vacuum motor replacements are about $200. Battery replacements cost $1,600 at the low end, and battery chargers range from $600 to $700. Tennant is one of the most recognized brands in the industry. They build nice machines and have a nationwide service network. The Tennant T1 has some great features, but it is expensive to purchase, own, and repair. There's a little bit about the Tennant T1. It's one of the most popular machines on the market, as Tennant machines are very widely known. It's a well-known, recognized brand, and they do build a quality product.